Meantime, Bernie Sanders bringing in an estimated 10,000 people at a rally in Madison, Wisconsin. Supporters going for his left as you can get ideas. Lanny Davis is here to weigh in on this and so much more. Former special counsel to President Clinton. Sanders calling for a political revolution that sounds a lot like what got Greece into trouble in the first place. Lanny, what do you make of it?
Well, I would love to answer the Whole Foods interview you just had because I know a lot about that. But let's talk about Bernie Sanders. Have me back about Whole Foods. Okay. But your reporter got it all wrong, by the way. Look, Bernie Sanders is a very interesting man that I respect greatly. He calls himself a socialist Democrat from Vermont. That in and of itself is interesting. And I respect him. And the crowds are extremely moved by his rhetoric, as I am, because he's hitting on the populist message and the wealth disparity message that Hillary Clinton is mentioning as well.
Is she going further left, though, because of that, because it is resonating?
She hasn't changed a single position in her entire career. She's been a progressive Democrat, so I don't know what you mean by going left. Name me the issue that she went left on. I
have heard her make comments about Wall Street and about the financial institutions that were much harsher than the rhetoric that she's used in the past. And I will bring up some of the emails that were released because she had a very lovely relationship with people in the financial industry. With Steve Schwarzman, she apologized to the chairman of the CME, Terry Duffy, for failing to commit to an event right away. She tried to help Steve Schwarzman from Blackstone. So I'm just saying what she's saying about Wall Street is opposed to the relationship she has with many on Wall Street, particularly as contributors.
All right, so now you give me a chance to take your general rhetoric, and I'll give you facts, and then we'll compare the two.
I know some facts, too, Lanny.
She may be... All right, well, then let's do facts. But you said she's been nicer, harsher, relationship, words like that. Number one, she favors taxing carried interest, which Schwarzman opposes, which Wall Street opposes. Number two, she favors increasing taxes on the wealthy, which Wall Street opposes. Number three, she favors improving the minimum wage substantially, which many people in the business community oppose. So when I give you specific facts and say those positions that are contrary to the notion of being cozy with Wall Street are facts, they're not generalizations.
Going back to 99, her biggest contributors as institutions, yes, have been Citigroup. They're in the top. Citigroup was number one, but then Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley's like
this
fourth.
Is great. This is great.
So is it going to hurt her if she gets tougher on Wall Street? Is it going to hurt her in fundraising? I know I have the $45 million number. 90% of the contributions were $100 or less. But is it going to hurt her in raising money from Wall Street?
Dagan, this is great. You just mentioned all the donations.
Yes.
And then I gave you all the positions contrary to the donor's interest, and you ignored that.
No, I didn't ignore it.
Let me repeat.
I said,
she's in favor of taxing carried interest, which everybody who donated in those companies benefit by. So if you take money from donors who think that you'd be a great president and you take positions contrary to their interests, that's pretty darn good.
No, so I asked you, do you think it will eventually hurt her in this presidential run in terms of fundraising from them? It hasn't in the past, I'll give you that, but could it?
No, because they respect her leadership qualities. They also agree that they need to contribute more because many of these Wall Street people are progressive Democrats who happen to be very wealthy. They don't like being paid higher taxes. Bill Clinton had the best line of all. I'm now very substantial in my income. Increase my taxes. There are an awful lot of people on Wall Street who agree with that.
Lanny, I want to ask you about more of these emails. 25 of the emails released so far were deemed classified, despite Secretary Clinton saying she never sent a classified email on her personal email. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, you've characterized that inaccurately.
No. I read it. That was as straight as I could be. Now you can answer me.
Then I'm not saying you personally are responsible, but it is inaccurate to say that she sent any emails that were classified.
Okay.
Since the emails were sent, those emails may have been post facto regarded as, and I don't know what level of classification, so I need to figure this out too. But it's nothing that she knowingly did, and that's all she ever said. If something was done after the emails were sent, where they look at an email and they say, you know, we ought to change the status of this email, that is not something that she knowingly did.
Who should she give her first TV interview to, really quickly?
Well, I would love it to be with you because
I've
you're so
interviewed her.
easy on me.
No, oh, please. That's a punch in the gut. I've interviewed her with Stuart Varney, and she calls Stuart Varney rude on the air, so maybe you need to give her some media training before she does her next interview.
Well, you know, Stuart can be tough and Stuart can be fair. Maybe he was rude, but I don't think you'd be rude. But as to who should, I think she should ultimately, as the presidential candidate, she'll be interviewed by everyone, including by. She did an interview with Bill O'Reilly when she ran in 2008. That was really, really well done.
Okay.
And I think that she'll be interviewed by even. I hope you get a chance, Dagen.
Thank you, Lanny. It was good to see you. I think we had
Nice
a
to see you.
productive conversation. Come back and talk about Whole Foods. Sorry
Invite
we
me
didn't get
back
to it.
on Whole Foods, please.
Okay, please come back. Lanny Davis, happy 4th. Have fun.
Same to you.